G'day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan battle video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at the Evil Onslaught Buu Super, a World Tournament unit that I believe received a ZZA at the 47th World Tournament. And we're going to be taking a look at just how good he is at 55% in the Hidden Potential system. So Buu is pretty cool. He's actually got some really interesting utility, and he could be a very interesting unit. I don't think he'll be able to handle the highest level of content, but he's got some really cool stuff. So he raises defense 1 turn on his super. He's a physical type lead of 100%, which I think is actually really cool. It's really helpful for things like Ultimate Clash. He has an additional attack and defense of 15% with each attack received, and randomly changes key spheres of a certain type to rainbow key spheres, starting from the turn in which he's received his 5th attack in battle. He'll get an additional attack and defense of 10% and recover 10,000 HP per key sphere obtained. And this is really where it gets interesting. You know, rainbow orbs, ability to generate orbs, and then healing off of those orbs, is pretty cool. And if you have a unit that can be at least solid defensively, he could be very interesting. Very margin-centric link set with Margin, Brutal Beatdown, Innocence, Metamorphosis, Infinite Regen, Wall Standing Tall, and Sharing the Limit. And then of course he's on Artificial Life Forms, Heavenly Events, Margin Boost Saga, Margin Power, Power Absorption, Sworn Enemies, Transformation Boost, and Worldwide Chaos. Overall, a really interesting unit. I actually like him a lot. I think for me, personally speaking, he's very solid. The big thing is your number of dupes will determine how big your starting defense is. He needs to get hits. He needs to get those hits so that he can build up his attack and defense. And I will say, as a margin unit, he's going to be heavily dependent on link leveling. Margin links are very potent. Metamorphosis gives you 10% attack and defense. Infinite Regen gives you 10% defense and 3% HP recovery. Margin itself gives you another 5%. So between all of those, you're already looking at like another 20% defense. On top of that as well, getting him to 100% in the Hidden Potential system would also boost his start of turn stats. It also boosts the multiplication of every hit that he takes, and also benefits each orb that he gets later on. So this is the kind of guy where investment can definitely separate him from like a 200 to 220,000 level defense character to like a 400,000 defense level character, and then he also raises defense on his super. So there is definitely big scope for him to grow, and in terms of raw damage, grow as well. Here we're managing to get him kind of to like the 3 million mark, but really maxing him out, at that 3 mil mark. But he can definitely go higher. I think the big thing with him is he helps out the Margin team, but Margin is still in a very weird space as a team, especially on global right now, and I think it just needs more help. It just needs like a collection of units. It probably needs like a really good LR Kid Buu. It needs a lot. For me, Margin is just not in the space it needs to be, but he does help. Between this guy, Strength Buu, Physical LR Buu, AGL Buu, you're starting to get a pretty interesting kind of lineup, and I think there is definitely scope for a better run team. I think things are working out nicely with that team. Just it needs more, more support, more help, more quickly. Ultimately, at the end of the day, he is very cool, and I do like the healing. I think he could be a very interesting option for completing some Margin Buu or Margin Power challenges, because the healing, the defense is all pretty good. I mean, here you can see him 200k defense. That's going to go up to like 250 to 60k, and he heals you, so that's pretty good. Now of course the real question is his build. So for me, I kind of want to say additional, because I feel like additional gives him that ability to fire off another super attack, which could help you out in terms of defense. But I also feel like evasion is also fine. Evasion is also quite okay. Evasion being really honestly quite helpful for him. He's one of those units whereby, okay, the attack stats you're going to do with him at full level is maybe close to 5 mil, which is good, but tiny bit of crit and evasion could give him quite a bit to his kit, and make him a really cool floating healer. It's going to depend on what you want, but for me, I definitely feel like evasion is good for that floating healer kind of build. If you are wanting to prioritize him a bit more, keep him in rotation, additionals is going to be the way to go. But yeah, I think for me, evasion and additional for that pure defensive build, or alternatively evasion and crit to give him that kind of floating damage dealer vibe, or just, yeah, I think additional and evasion is where I'm going to head with it. Obviously, links-wise, Martian characters link great with him. Yeah, Martian, Metamorphosis, Infinite Regen, Wall Standing Tall, all very Martian-centric. So you're not going to be linking this guy beautifully with anyone outside of the Martian power category, but that's okay. It's not a big issue. It's just how Martian characters really work. I think overall he links decently with pretty much any Martian character. So he does, obviously offer that decent coverage. But yeah, that's it for me. Only real thing he's missing is Big Bad Bosses, which would have been nice for some of the boos. But in general, he's going to link up pretty well with a lot of them. And yeah, that's it from me. Let me know what you guys think. Bye.